All right, we're back for a mid-season update. I'm Andrew Haines, co-owner of the team, and I'm with Corey Adamson, our head coach, our GM, player. What else can we add?
Equipment manager,
Equipment
locker
manager.
room attendant,
Whatever it takes, right?
whatever it takes, man. That's it. All of it.
Are you
All the above.
are you a boxer too, or what? What's that shiner from?
Yeah, it's this one, right? Yeah, looking pretty good. I don't even know. I don't even remember what happened. I got hit in the face at some point this weekend, and all of a sudden everybody's like, "You got a black eye?" I was like, "I guess so." Guess so.
I don't think people realize how physical indoor soccer is.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
it's physical.
I mean, just going into the boards is bad enough, but you just the battles along the boards, the open field tackles, everything's so confined. Everybody's moving at 100 miles an hour. You just get smoked, and pretty tough getting back up the next day.
Yeah, I would say, and especially as you're in your mid-30s now, right? So it's not almost mid-30s. I'd give you a little credit, but
yeah,
your body doesn't recover quite as fast. But
no, hasn't been doing that for a long time.
So I mean, how would you rank the season so far? I mean, right now, just got done playing Fayetteville, who was in first place, and now the Americans are in first place by half of a game.
Yeah, it's man, it's crazy. So it's been a lot of fun so far. Honestly, we kind of see who we need to look out for from all the other teams. There's been so many epically close games. I think there's been five overtime games so far this season, and a couple of shootout games, and it's two teams vying back and forth for first place and stuff like that. It's been a lot of fun so far. We took a couple of tough losses last week in Fayetteville, and we knew what we could do against them. Now that we saw them, and we kind of see what the level was, and a couple of tendencies that some of the players seem to have, and things that we felt we could capitalize pretty well on. And honestly, I thought for both, obviously the women and the men, it was incredible. Angel Haley's got her second shutout in 3 games.
She's legit.
She's legit. Side. Yeah, she's unreal. I mean, she made some of those saves just look so nonchalant, and they are very difficult saves. Not only that, she catches the ball too. She's got unbelievable hands. She catches the ball. Might be the West Coast goalkeeping gloves that she just got sponsored by. So you never know. But yeah, she's been fantastic. Obviously, on the opposite end for the guys, Peter Sliwa has been fantastic for us. Matthew Klink's gotten in there a couple times, gotten us a couple of wins. He'll be playing again this weekend too. So our goalkeeping on both sides has been excellent. The goal scorers have done what they've needed to do for the men and the women. We're getting new girls kind of coming out for the team, and they've all produced. They've all produced now. Damn near every one of them's got a goal that we've signed recently, and my rock solid studs have been rock solid and Studley. So it's good, man. We're rolling. It's just mostly trying to find a balance of work, recovery, and learning right now is what we really have to sort ourselves out with. So everything that we do well, there's a way to break it, and we got to figure out what that way is. That way, when somebody else figures it out, we know how to adapt to it, and we're just constantly focusing on that week to week.
So what are you going to do? I mean, the season's about halfway through right now. Now everyone's getting banged up. I mean, it's real physical. I mean, you got a shiner. You were limping, to the office this morning. Everybody's a little sore and everything. So how do you, are you going to change anything going in the second half of the season with like your training sessions, or is there anything that's going to be different? Like, how are you going to adapt with that?
Yeah, so we typically train both teams about three days a week, sometimes 4. It just depends. But you scale everything. Every training session has to be done with a purpose. I mean, we have to come out there and, tomorrow it's going to be a lot of recovery stuff, kind of active recovery. Everybody gets a day off, and then we get back to the grind and try and get all the kinks out, really. Assess who's actually injured versus just hurting a little bit and stuff like that. get the players that didn't get a lot of time a little bit more work and kind of challenge them to put in a little bit extra work on the side too. But then you go into just game planning week to week with the teams that you're facing up against, and a lot of that is with some intensity in the middle of the week, and then you kind of tail off and really focus on the detail aspect of things. We do a lot of film too, so usually we try to do like 2 film sessions a week. I'm going to try to do the same thing this week as well, trying to get at least 2 in, if not maybe 1 every single day this week.
Do you do those film sessions online, or do you guys
No,
you guys at the
try to
arena?
meet somewhere. I mean, Celtic Crossings over in Midtown has been really gracious. They've been giving us some space in there. We come in, have a little bit of food, and have a great little atmosphere. Very soccer themed.
They got some good food too, though. I mean,
phenomenal food, man. Oh my
man, I had a burger from there the other day.
Their
it was
legit.
yeah.
They got their
Yeah, it's definitely a good spot.
Yeah, so going in there, it's fun because it's a time where we can, it's soccer related, but at the same time we're out and about. We're with each other, but it's not, the grind. And we're trying to learn and get better at things. So far, almost every single week, we have tried to really implement something new to a system that we learned the previous week. And we're going to do the same thing now, especially on the girls' side. I think we've got a really good opportunity to take advantage of some things this weekend that we'll work on. And it's mostly about measuring how much intensity will keep you fit versus how much rest do we really need to make sure that we're at our optimal mentally and spiritually, emotionally, physically, tactically, every aspect. So that's my toughest job. But the good, I think one of the benefits to having a player coach is that if I'm going through what they're going through, I know how to judge their bodies, and I know how to judge their mental state. I think, obviously,
yeah, you really have your finger on the pulse on that. Yeah.
What's that?
You really have your finger on the pulse with that. I mean, you're out there and you know how your body's reacting too. Right. So
exactly.
Sometimes it's hard to tell.
The older ones, but still, I still am in pretty decent shape, and I'm certainly the mental side for me is a little bit different because I've just got so many balls up in the air and so many things that we do. It's like after Friday's game, I made sure the locker rooms were all cleaned up and got the laundry done for Fayetteville. That way they had clean stuff to put on, and did the same thing for us, reset all the locker rooms with the help of a couple of front office guys, and we were ready to go again. So it's like, all right, when I go into a session, all right, how much of my stress is actually on-field stress versus off-field stress? So that's the only thing that I've got to kind of get my finger on the pulse on for myself personally. But I also talk to the players a lot too. I think it's really important to ask, but a lot of coaches just come in and they demand, or they say, this is what you have to do. This is what we're doing. I'll come in and I'll talk to once, because almost everybody, I don't think there's anybody on either team that I would say would like kind of soften up a bit, almost everybody would tell me straight what they really felt and how they're feeling and stuff like that. At least I feel they would. So I try to involve them as much as I can on the planning, day-to-day, week-to-week, stuff like that. Take a little bit, feedback and constructive criticism on my end too, because it's first year I'm doing this too. I got stuff to learn too. So I think doing that is the best way to really keep your pulse on things, like you said.
Well, so this week we are headed to Columbus Friday. We've already played Columbus a few times. Do you think it's an advantage or disadvantage that we play the same team so many times? Like, you really get to know those teams, and in my opinion, it's hard to beat teams so many times. Yeah. I mean, no matter how good or bad they are, because it's just one of those things. You play them so often.
Right.
How do you feel that is? Obviously next year we're excited to be announced. We're going to be announcing soon some additional teams. So that'll change next year. But right now, how does that affect your strategy?
There's a lot of different factors that go into that. The first part is how motivated can you make your team on both sides of the spectrum? Because, if we're winning all the games against Columbus, but, there's two sides to that story. One is, okay, at what point do they give up? And two, at what point do we come in soft and give them a chance, right? So it's like it's you're trying to balance those two aspects.
I think it's like the first time.
Somebody, yeah, the more you play against somebody, the more you understand their tendencies, what they're good at, what they're uncomfortable with. There's several players that we scouted out from Fayetteville that we felt, okay, we can, or from Columbus, that we were like, this is who you run at, this is who you step to, this is who you contain, this is who's going to come and double, this is the one that, is only good on the left, not the right, or he's maybe more comfortable on the right, not the left. There's a lot of players in this league that you can't take away everything. I mean, there's several players on Columbus where, and Fayetteville too, who we play on Sunday, who you can't take everything away from them. They're good on almost all aspects, but they're less comfortable in some areas than others. So you just try to key in, all right, if they're on this field, this is what we do against them here, or this is where we try to show them and stuff like that. Just find little things like that, because at the end of the day, those little things are going to be what separates the games. So little tiny details are what's going to start separating these games, especially towards the back half of the season.
Well, I noticed too, the first time we went on the road to Columbus back to back, I mean, we won pretty easily the first night.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And then the next night,
we're in overtime.
I was going to say it was an overtime game. And I think part of that is in game 2, I think Columbus came ready to play. They wanted to redeem themselves. And I think our team was a little high on our horse, right? Yeah. Like, hey,
quite a bit soft.
Yeah. And so I think, motivating the guys and girls to make sure that, we don't fall into that, has got to be a challenge for you.
It's tough, because I think and on the women's side, it was the same thing too, right? The first time we played Columbus, we come out.
They beat us in overtime, I think, right?
Well, it was 10-3. And the second time we play them, we go to their place, and all of a sudden this game's 3-2. we or 2-2 or 3-3. We end up going to shootouts and losing, and then the next night we're back in overtime with them.
Right.
And then this last time we played them here, I thought it was a very comfortable game for us. We handled everything that we need to handle. So it's like, okay, what are we going to have this weekend? What are we going to have on Friday? So I think the focus is always trying to you try to challenge your own team to be the best version of themselves. So you have to keep everybody accountable. Well, accountability starts from, top down, making sure that if the players are playing well, they're rewarded for it. If they're not playing well, they shouldn't be rewarded for it. It doesn't matter if they're, and everybody's allowed to have a bad game. Everybody's allowed to have a tough game. On the men's side, I thought there was 2 players that in particular that didn't have great games last weekend. They came out this weekend, and while maybe the numbers don't show that they were like, oh my God, they were, because of what they brought on the X factor, what they brought in the defensive areas of the field, when they brought in transition and stuff like that. It's the little details that helped us execute really, really well. And the more we focus on that in training, the more they're geared towards the learning aspect of the game, rather than, oh, we're going to come in here, we're going to do blah, 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 or, oh no, this team's coming in and they're going to do blah, blah, blah. You focus on what you can do and keeping your discipline in what you're doing. The results are the benefactor of your execution, basically, at that point. So hopefully this weekend we'll be able to do that, and hopefully this weekend we'll be able to come away with another, set of wins. And especially in Columbus, it's going to be a tough one in Columbus, because anytime you travel, it's very, very difficult. Very difficult.
And I think too, I mean, even though we have the best record, and Fayetteville is kind of same record, one less win. The games throughout the league, anyone can win any game.
It's nuts.
And that's it's probably the first time I've seen it where it's been that close. And, Columbus's record, and even Rome, I mean, it's not really like
it doesn't tell the whole
picture.
Story.
Yeah.
Really
yeah. I mean, I definitely think
ours really doesn't either. You look at on the women's side, 8-1. Awesome. How many of those games were 1 or 2 goal games though?
Yeah. There was a few overtime.
1 or 2 goal games is like, that's nothing. We were down 4 in Fayetteville and brought it back to 2. It's twice. So it's like you can't look at just a record and have it tell the entire story. So I think in the 4 times we played Columbus so far on the women's side, we played them 5 times, haven't we? Twice there, twice here. No, it is 4. 2 of those games were pretty good, comfortable leads for us, but the other 2 were 1-goal games. 1-goal games. One in overtime, one in overtime and one in a shootout. So you look at that. And then from the men's side, Rome had us within a goal up until we got, I think, a top of the box and put a 2-goal distance between us. Then we ended up just capping it off in the third quarter. But, every single one, and of course the Fayetteville games, those were, I'm so glad we're going to have a little break for them in March, just because, or in the next couple of weeks after these next 2 weekends. But it's like, man, I legitimately tired of getting punched in the face and just battered and beat up. It's like, man, let's just
They've got some talent.
Fight up against,
they're a very talented team.
That's
team. Some great talent there. And just great battles though. It's like, when we, dreamt up the league, this is exactly what we wanted, is these really close, hard fought matches.
Right.
We're developing some good rivalries. It always helps too when, you have shared ownership with us and Fayetteville, because it's kind of like
win-win for you,
your brother.
You look at it.
Well, yeah, I get to win no matter what, but what it does is everybody wants to be the winner. Everybody wants to be the one that is on top. So
none more really than me.
who's the favorite child? And it's like everyone, you love all your children, right? And really I want to see good competition. Winning is always good. So
it's a good way to get
it. They both have won 2 against each other.
How good all these teams are and how close all these games are, I think, too. And that's missing in a lot of leagues, is the economical side of it, where all the owners in this league really have a good understanding of what it takes to run a business like this and a sports franchise in general. And I think because of all the owners' ability to really understand that has kept things in perspective. So from who we bring in to who we don't bring in, and I think it's the latter side of that that's the more important piece when it comes down to what each team's able to bring to the table. And it's been really fun. It's been really fun to watch all these teams really grow these first 9-10 games of the season, and develop the talent that they have, because almost everybody's a rookie basically to indoor soccer this year. And to see the way that these games have really tightened up, and the competition there, it's a credit to both the economical side and what the coaches are doing in the locker rooms too with these players and the players themselves. It's the hardest part about being a professional athlete is the fact that you have to be a pro athlete every day, whether you're tired, whether you're hurt, whether you just aren't feeling it, whether you need a vacation, whatever's going on at home with whatever is going on with your family. It doesn't matter. You have to be able to go out there, still learn and develop, as well as stay in very tip-top shape when you're beat up. And that is so hard to do. So hard to do. So it's a big testament to everybody in this league, top down.
Yeah, no, I couldn't be happier. You're starting to see the attendance growing in all the arenas now. It's slowly, really cool a little bit behind where we'd like it to be. But we've been so focused on making sure the product is solid and, getting it launched. And, every city has brand new fields and turf, and, everybody's starting from scratch. So it's so much time to build up. And I know this upcoming game on February 20th against Fayetteville here at Landers Center, we're going to have a great crowd. It's going to be in the thousands. We have that great promo going on where fans can redeem up to 6 free tickets to the game, or they can upgrade to a suite or some other premium seating for a fraction of what it normally costs just to come out. So it's a good opportunity if fans have never been to a game, come out. When have you ever gotten anything for free? And somebody emailed last night when we sent this out that what's the catch? There's legit no catch. If you come out and have a good time, I said, I'd love for you to come back and buy a ticket in the
Have a
future.
good time, get hugged, and then started. I gotta come back all the time now. Yeah,
I'll tell you what. Sunday's crowd against Fayetteville this past Sunday,
that was awesome.
it was good. I mean, the fans were loud. It definitely was a lot louder than the number of people. So once we start getting a few thousand in here,
that was
that was a hell of a goal. I mean, there was some good.
When I hit mine to tie it up, it was loud. But when I just remember when Gio hit that, it like, man, I could barely hear us celebrating, and I was like right there.
Yeah,
that was crazy, man. That was crazy.
No, and I think it's just gonna keep growing, and I think the players throughout the league, the other coaches, everyone's doing a phenomenal job. It's just gonna keep getting better. We have a lot of stuff that we need to clean up, like behind the scenes, and and we're getting there on everything. It's continuing to improve, but we need to really build that momentum going into the off season, and that way. As we add teams, we're elevating our team. Our budget and expenses are going to go up in year 2 because we're going to be flying to more games than busing. So all that stuff is in the works now. I've been traveling all over, negotiating deals for new cities.
You're going everywhere. Man.
I mean, I have not spent as much time in Memphis as I was anticipating, but we have to really build the league and. Yeah, and so it's positive, but if you look at our video streams too for the games, I mean, we're getting over like 4,000 viewers a game.
Yeah.
Average if you look at the whole season.
Averaging, that's the crazy part.
And that's great. And we're going to start monetizing that. We're going to start offering more interactive stuff on our streams in the future. But
the YouTube, the live comments, man, that's got to be one of the most entertaining things that I've ever read in my life, dude. Shouts out to all the fans in every arena. And we love it. We love it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It definitely
they put some funny stuff in there, so
too, man.
Yeah,
builds it.
Oh yeah,
There's a lot of people that had a lot of things to say last weekend, and it's funny, I didn't hear anything from them this week. Did you anything?
No,
I didn't see anything.
I mean, it's usually winning, shuts people up, when they get beat. But I mean, you got a big target on your back. I mean, you're one of the faces of the league, so you're definitely going to have a big target on you.
One of the Fayetteville
for once, I don't. So
yeah, one of the Fayetteville players was a very, very nice girl. She was like, you're an a-hole on the field, but you're really nice on the field. I was like, I wish all the other fans could see that side.
And I would agree with her. I think she was right. On the field, you're a competitor, right? And that's what
one of the most competitive people I know. So
it's hard for me to get worked up with you because
out of the way for a reason, because you don't want people to understand that you're worse than I am.
I don't know if I used to be worse than you. So that's why I've put up with the shenanigans that you do out there, because I'm like, all right, this was me 10 years ago. All right, so I'm trying to, I got the hair combed over instead of spiked up now. I'm over 40. I gotta be a little bit more responsible. I might buy a minivan. I don't know.
I don't know. If you show up in the minivan is the day that I resign. I'm out. That's not the man I wanted to. That's not the man I wanted to work for. I want that Maserati driving.
It's too fast. I'm gonna have to slow down at some point. So, but
you let me know whenever that is, because I'll figure. Whenever that is, I'll do it too.
Yeah.
I'll do it too.
No, it's good. We got to keep that passion high. We got to keep. The fans love the passion. I mean, I hear it. I had a couple of fans this past game come up to me and just very appreciative of what we're bringing here, you and I, and the whole group and
the whole team. They see it throughout the whole team, and that's the other beautiful part about this is that one of the things you told me from day one is like, we're not bringing in a lot of people from out because we want this to be homegrown products. So these cities are proud to represent our teams, and 90+% of our rosters are local, born, raised, and bred Memphian talent, and that speaks volumes to every market. And they show that passion and intensity. They show that ability on the field, and that desire to perform for their family, for their friends, for their city in general. And that's a huge part of it. That's a huge part of the atmosphere that we've created here.
Well, what's also cool about that is, I always kind of sit where nobody's at usually and try to watch a little bit of the games. And got a chance to meet some of the families of some of the players too, that, having those local players lets those families come out and enjoy it. And it's really cool to see. So I'm excited to keep building what we're doing. It's a lot of work. I'm exhausted. Like, I've been playing half of a season. Like, I need a vacation. I woke up and I was limping, and I didn't play.
I tore my MCL in the second quarter. I'm just like, came out for a top of the box and hit myself.
Do we have any tape?
Trying to sort myself out. I hit myself here, so it wasn't this. So I know I didn't do that to myself. I was like, I suck it up. It's a long.
You in the fight club? Man. Is that what it is? You're in the fight club, I guess.
Pretty much. The way
it's called the NISL.
Dude, some of these boys are freaking linebackers, man. It's like pissing off a gorilla.
I forget the numbers, but there was a few in Fayetteville that definitely looked like it was chest and arm day, every day.
As I'm running to the corner with these guys, I'm like, this is gonna suck.
Looked like Corey Dowell's cousins or something. Corey Dowell's cousins.
Yeah.
So
every day I'm one of them. Yeah, shout out Corey. But whenever you want to come out of retirement and help me out, man.
Come on, Corey. Come on, Dow. Let's get you down here. But again, this Sunday we've got this is going to be the only opportunity for this. Up to 6 free tickets. You can get them on the website. Look on our social. There's links. You got to fill out a little bit of a form, and then we'll text message you the tickets. There won't be any tickets at will call, but we'll text them to you. Don't ask for more than you can use, please. We're getting a huge response right now, but we want to make sure that everyone who can come out gets that opportunity. So we only have 8,000 seats available here, and we're probably 20% done already in the first 15 hours, 16 hours that we announced this. So cool. So ask only for what you need. Share it with everybody you know. Get out here. I guarantee you're going to have a great time. You'll see Corey losing his mind probably at least a few times on the field. And that in itself is worth coming out.
I was so much better this past weekend. Much better this past weekend.
You're becoming an adult now. I like it. You're growing up in front of my eyes.
I just needed to get my feet under me. That was it. I just, we're getting into things now. I'm getting the hang of it. My players are, I think, very excited for that too.
Yeah.
I'm about halftime of Saturday night game. The women.
I came in the locker room and I was like, maybe I'm gonna wait by the door another 30 seconds.
You guys came in the way you came in right after there. I was like, sorry, lost things a little bit. Peter got it.
Well, listen.
Peter got a little heated too. He was a little upset.
I mean, you've seen me flip tables and stuff before, throw chairs. So I mean. You won't see that anymore.
Second half.
Was it 0? Yeah.
0. Nothing in the second half. We made that. It was just right. Sometimes you just got to get a little loud with the exclamation point, I think.
Yep. No, some good games. I'm looking forward to the rematch because Fayetteville's going to come out. They're pissed. They were undefeated coming here, and they're a damn good team. They're going to respond well. It's going to be a battle, and they're big, they're physical. Yeah. So it'll be exciting. So Friday we're in Columbus, Georgia.
Single player that's even relatively my size.
Yeah.
I think the smallest guy is Richie Filliter, and that guy is still 5'10" or something like that.
Yeah.
Seriously, this is what I gotta play. This is the whole game. Cool. This is fun. That's a lot of fun. Me and Mikey Sharp are just looking at each other like, and Paulo too. Paulo, you might get Paulo out there on the line one time. And I was just looking up, and they had one guy that was like 6, I don't know, probably 6'6" at least. And then they got Cameron Steele out there, he's a silverback, and you're like,
he's a freaking beast.
What's he doing?
He is, man. I'll tell you what, I love how
Fayetteville
he
needs
plays
an arena
too.
Football team for sure.
Yeah, I would definitely recruit him for both, for sure.
He's bigger than most running backs that we've had it with the attack and stuff. He's the weakest in is that guy that we got from the Bears.
And he can ball too. So
yeah,
So it's going to be exciting. Friday we hit the road, Columbus. Yep. We get the day off on Saturday, and then back at it Sunday, and that'll put us over the halfway mark for the season because we have a 20-game season, 12 home games, 8 away, and it'll really kind of give us. That'll be our 5th game against Fayetteville, so we'll still have 3 more games against them, 2 in Fayetteville and 1 more at home. So. It'll be interesting because, I mean, the way the standings are looking right now, I mean, Fayetteville and Memphis have quite a bit of a lead over the other teams. And, but I don't think Columbus or Rome are just going to roll over. So I think they're going to start squeaking out some wins there, and they're going to continue to get better. So we can't let our guard down at all.
Made leaps and bounds. Rome took them. It was a 7-5 game, and then they also took them to shootouts.
Yeah.
So it took Fayetteville to shootouts. So. And then the second game was like 7-5 or something like that. So it's and it was only 6-3 against them when we played them.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a tough road the next month.
Come down to it, and Columbus has gotten better every single solitary week. Every week they've gotten better. And again, when you play against a team that much, a lot of times we talk about momentum in game, but there's momentum out of games too. Once you start feeling it, once you start feeling like a little bit more of that confidence, more of that like self-assurance, the games start getting real rowdy real quick.
Well, and I think in March too, I want to say we've got 9 or 10 games. Like half of our season is almost in March. So staying healthy and thankfully it's a lot of home games until that last week of the season. But that last week of the season could dictate, postseason type stuff. Right. I mean, because you got Columbus, we have Columbus and then 2 games in Fayetteville. So, so it'll be interesting to see, but we want to help fill this place up behind us. It's a Landers Center. We want to see a few thousand people out there for the February 20th game, up to 6 free tickets, courtesy of HSE Agency, which is one of my companies. We decided to just buy out the arena.
Huge shout out, by the way.
Well, we just want to, I was like, let's offer this one time to the community so there can be no excuse to come out. So right now, if you can't afford to come out now, how can you not afford to come?
Right.
You're going to miss out on the best, 3.5 hours of entertainment that you're going to find in the greater Memphis area. So come check us out. Go to our social media. It's MEM Americans on everything. And go to the website, memphisamericans.com. We'll have the link up there for the free tickets. Fill out the form. Wait about a day or two. It might be 2 days to get it to you because we're already up to about 2,000 tickets, and that was in less than 24 hours. So we really anticipate getting those numbers up. So only request what you could use. Come out and see Corey lose his mind, score some. I mean, he had a hell of a goal this last game. One of the best goals. Oh man, that was a great goal. But regardless, it's nonstop action. Women's games are great, guys' games. So memphisamericans.com. We'll try to get back. We're trying to get more of these podcasts out. It's just been crazy. It's been busy for me and Corey.
We've been so busy.
We're doing everything. So it's like, we're like, okay, we got to do this, Corey. We got to do this. We got to do this. So we made sure that we had time today, and, we'll be back soon. So thanks for joining us. Any last words, Corey?
See you this weekend. Excited.
Let's go, Americans.